Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Where is. There we go. Yep, there we go. There we go. Hey, everybody. How are y'all doing tonight? Uh, mm-mm. I don't know who this is. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. We ain't doing that tonight. I don't know who them folks be. How's everybody doing? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Because I feel like I'm talking low. I feel like I'm talking very low. So if y'all can't hear me, let me know. Because I feel like I'm whispering. And you know what? Let me move this closer to me anyway. Because. Okay. Y'all can hear me. Okay. 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 Sound is good. All right. All right. All right. All right. Good. 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 I don't know who Naruto Kim 206. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We ain't talking about sisters that's the worst and all of that. We ain't doing that. Hey, Abby. Hi. Hey, everybody. I don't want to not speak to everybody individually because you know I'm cool with y'all. So, yeah, we don't do sister slander. We don't do that. So, if you want to do that, then I would prefer you do that somewhere else and not here. Back to simplicity. Hello. Come on, back to simplicity. Now, Leo slander is, in fact, always gonna be welcome on this page. This is always gonna be a Leo slander page every single time. Like, no matter what happens, there will be Leo slander. It could be, if there's a day that ends in Y, we slandering Leo. Maybe if you pin a comment, oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay, okay, okay. I don't be know how to, okay. Tell me how to add a comment because I feel like I don't know how to. Okay, wait. No, swipe left to close. Okay, this is gonna get on my nerves. Anyway, how's everyone doing tonight? You know what? Instead of that, here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna pin your comment. How about that? That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna just pin your comment and then we'll go from everywhere else. Why? Paige rocking the bob. Always and forever. That red bob is everything. Hi, Eleanor. Ellen. Alina Milana. Girl. I don't know how to say that. And I'm not gonna mess up your name. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyway. Um. So how's everyone doing? What y'all up to tonight? Cause I feel like I mean I'm not gonna be accepting all these invites and all this and that. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Even though I done asked y'all that 15 times. And I'm gonna continue to ask y'all that because I have a bad mind and I'm gonna forget. And that's okay. That is 100% okay. Paige is cute. She grew on me all the time, on overtime. You know, and that's the thing is, I think, I can understand. Here, okay, so here's the thing. Let me say this. I understand completely not liking a character, right? I will never tell someone that they should or should not like a character unless it's Leo. Um, but no, really, I'm never gonna tell you you should like a character or that, you know, just because I like them. I think the reason that I say no sister slander here is because I think that that takes away from what the point of the show is, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm not watching the show so I can talk about how much I hate this sister, you know, or be like, oh, she was the worst this episode. I hate the episode because she was in it. You know, like that defeats the purpose of the show. Then, baby, why are you watching it? Because now to get you in, she's gonna be in every episode. That would be like me saying I don't care for Piper. There are times where I don't care for Piper, but where can I watch Charm now? It is on Amazon Prime, and it's also on Peacock. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, this episode was horrible because Piper was in it. That's weird. I'm not gonna say, oh, Phoebe was in this episode, I don't ever want to watch this again. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's why I feel like I take it up on myself to be like, we're not doing that here, because there's no point. Because every single character on that television program, on any television program, has good parts and bad parts to them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, that's just me. That's just me. Like, I feel like, yeah, all the sisters are great anyway. Even when they're annoying, they're still lovable. Exactly, Tony Rocket. Rocket to waterfall. Exactly. Ooh, not the Roku app is free. Ooh, come on. Who is my favorite love interest? Oh, that's a good question. Wait, because somebody asked them, and it makes me sad when someone doesn't like my favorite. It does make me sad, but what I have learned to do is move on. Because there's people that you can talk to about it and be like, this is why this person is my favorite, and then go from there. And then there's some people who have made up in their mind they are not going to like a character, and it does not matter what you say, they're not going to. And instead of listening to what you're saying, they have to constantly feel like they need to fight back. You know, like, oh, well, no, Paige wasn't good because this and because that and because the sky was blue that day. Okay, congratulations that you feel like that. Do you want a cookie? Y'all asking me a lot of questions. And you know I got ADHD. And y'all gaslight me. Y'all starting there already. Y'all already starting to gaslight me. Because y'all know I'm not going to be able to keep up with all these questions. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm not going to let y'all gaslight me today. Because today... today I'm actually going to take my time. Let's see. Okay, wait. Okay. Let me go back up. Alright. Because I want to start from the top. Let's see. What about Phoebe's bang slander? I'm slandering Phoebe's bang and Leo every chance I get. Every single chance I get. Like, if there's nothing else that this channel is ever going, Paige channel, Oshkosh Kabosh, whatever it is, if there's two things I'm gonna do, it's gonna be slander Phoebe's bang, and it's gonna be slander Leo. I can't. Let's see. Rocket to waterfall. What's your favorite side story that got cut too fast? I don't know. That's a good question. I ain't never thought about that before. A good side story that got cut. I'm gonna have to come back to that one, because I feel like that's a really good question and I don't know how to answer it. We're gonna circle back to that. Phoebe's character development from childish to mature. That's interesting. Phoebe's character. Oh, well, it's good to see you too, Serene. Is it Serene? Or is it like pronounced in a different way from like over there? You know what I mean? Like, if it is, I'm sorry. Um, let's see. Oh yeah. That's the question. See, okay. All right, I'm back. Okay, so Phoebe going from childish to mature. I have said this before, and I will continue to say it until I am blue in the face, which is probably never going to happen because I am not able to turn blue, if you know what I mean. Phoebe, much like Piper, is the heart of the family. Phoebe is the heart of the show Charmed. She is the heart of the show itself. Like, if you told me to pick a character that was representative of the show, for me personally, I would choose Phoebe. Because Piper Piper was already kind of a grown up when we see her. Piper's already, she has a job. You know, she is doing her own thing. She has a boyfriend. You know, she's taking care of herself in some sort of way. Whereas when we start with Phoebe, Phoebe is a complete train wreck of a person, and not not in like a bad way, but to mean that she's the one that, well, Piper has a job doesn't mean she's out together. Okay. So when we meet Phoebe, Phoebe is still trying to find her way in life, and she is trying to figure out who she is, what the next move is. You know, we see that she has the courage to start over, even though her and Prue don't get along, and even though her and Prue are not in a great place. Phoebe still has the courage to go back home, and she still has the ability to say, okay, I need to regroup, and I have access to this house that is in my family. I know I can go back there. Let me go back. Because she could have very easily stayed in New York. I don't think that we really talk about that. Phoebe could have very easily stayed in New York and kept on trying to side hustle, because we know Phoebe knows how to hustle. So if she don't do nothing else. So it's interesting that she chose to come back because she knew she had a place to come back to, right? So I think that's already the first little nugget we get, that Phoebe is probably at least more aware than Prue is trying to tell us she is, because Prue is trying to tell us that the girl just, come on, roses. Phoebe is just trying to tell us, thank you for those. Prue is just trying to tell us that Phoebe is just like an emotional wreck. Or not an emotional wreck, but that like she just doesn't have anything together. So what we see when Phoebe actually gets there is a person who is confident in who she actually is in the moment, versus trying to live up to an expectation. If that makes any sense. Like, Phoebe is okay being there in the present, and she's okay with being someone who has to start over. She's okay with being someone who is not as stable as her sisters would want her to be, or as Grams would want her to be. And what I think we see over the show is that Prue, what? Prue would like Megan Thee Stallion. Baby, when they said that, I gagged, because Prue ain't listening to Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know why that was so funny to me. There is no way that Prue would ever listen to Megan Thee Stallion. There is no way. Paige would listen to Megan before Prue would. There's no way. Anyway. No, but what we see over the course of the show is, I think, that ingenuity that Phoebe had, and Phoebe being open to change, because we see in season 4, when she's getting ready to make that transition from single Phoebe, who is, you know, living her best life, not Fiona Apple, who's living her best life, you know, whatever, and she's in love with Cole, but now she's moving into this new phase where she's turning into, thank you, Zay, where she's turning into, you know, she's gonna be a wife, she's gonna be someone's something, you know, like she's about to have to really, it is Paige Latanya Matthews. It is Paige Latanya Matthews. And that's not just me talking, because let me get this out real quick, because I wanna give y'all proof. This ain't just me talking. You see it? Rose McGowan, signed Paige Latanya Matthews. So this ain't just me. Rose McGowan said that her middle name is Paige. So, I mean, that her middle name is Latanya, not Paige. It is canon. It is canon. And not cannonball. Not I came in wrecking like a cannonball. No, that song is I came in like a wrecking ball. Let me stop. So, what were we talking about? Y'all, what were we talking about? Thank you, Zay. My God, you cut up. Oh, look at my friend. Thank you. Y'all, we're not talking about, I don't know what y'all talking about, but we ain't talking about why actresses got let go. I don't remember what we talking about, but I know we ain't talking about that. That part, y'all gaslighting me again. Y'all gaslighting me again. I don't know how, but y'all doing it. But y'all doing it. You gaslighting me just like every other time. And then that's how y'all doing it. Y'all pretend like y'all don't know what we was talking about. Y'all know what we was talking about. Y'all know exactly what we was talking about. Y'all just don't want me to talk about it. Okay. Yeah. Phoebe growing up. Thank you, Nala. Is it Nala? I want to say your name right. I hope it's Nala. Because if it ain't, then I'm sorry. I want to say your name right. The point that I was trying to make is that Phoebe. Okay. So Phoebe was moving into a different phase of life, right? And so I think it was normal as a person to have those doubts and insecurities and not know which way to go from there. Oh, thank you. Oh, and that's your first gift. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, Phoebe was living in New York before she oh my God, Jesus, before she moved back to, what do I have in my throat? And don't get cute. I feel like I'm gonna, y'all, what, I had a tickle in my throat. Jesus. Oh Lord. Y'all, I thought I was gonna get up out of here. What is going on? Tell me how I'm supposed to breathe with no air, honey. But no, so Phoebe is moving into this new phase of life, and she's about to be a wife, and she's about to, you know, we don't know it yet. She doesn't know it yet, but she's about to get a job. And so, like, as she's transitioning into this next phase of life, the anxiety is up. My girl is to the point where she didn't use magic to talk to her future self to see whether she should marry Cole or not, because she didn't know. And then she wasn't even trying to talk to her future self. She was just trying to get a cosmic answer to whether I should marry him or not. And so it's like, to see Phoebe be that lost, that's how you know she was definitely moving from one phase of her life to another. And I think that that's important, because at the same time that she's moving from one phase to another, she's also transitioned from being the youngest sister to the middle sister, which for Phoebe And I think for Phoebe was a huge step up, because when she was the youngest, Phoebe could always get away, kind of not get away necessarily, but they would just be like, oh, that's Phoebe. She's the youngest. She's never had any responsibility. Da 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 da. Blah 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 blah. Like, she always had that to fall back on in some shape, form, or fashion. And there was never an example she had to set when she was growing up. She never had to, like, be better than someone else. It was like she could be in her own lane, because Prue was what, 5 years older than her. So now, to get you 10, they weren't in even the same school at the same time. So her and Piper were a little bit closer in age, but Piper wasn't exactly like the standout, like that. So I feel like Phoebe always had that room to be herself. When Paige gets there, though, I don't think that Phoebe had to be the middle sister in terms of setting a standard for Paige, because Paige was already an adult. She was already an independent person. That wasn't some great big deal. But I think she understood that as the now middle sister, she had to corral Phoebe and Paige. Phoebe, why am I getting these people's names on? Piper and Paige, she had to kind of corral them in a way that she wasn't used to. She was used to being corralled, not doing the corralling. She's not used to that. She's used to, Piper is gonna step in. I'm gonna talk trash to her about Prue. Prue is probably gonna talk trash to her about me, and we're just gonna go somewhere from there. But now she's having to keep Piper from, going down to craziness. And then she's also having to try to bring Paige into the fold and make sure that she feels comfortable there. And yeah, Zay is cutting up tonight. I don't know who you are. Whoever you are, thank you. And that's what Lois Griffin said. So whoever you are, thank you. Oh God. So Camden asks, Piper became the oldest. Do you think that not the comment went away. She handled it differently from Prue, learned from her mistakes. I don't think that Piper learned from her mistakes necessarily. From Prue's mistakes, I don't think that she necessarily learned from that. But I think that being the middle sister her whole life, she had a different approach to it than Prue did. Because and then too, we have to look at the fact that Prue was the older sister when they were growing up, and Grams was there, because I'm assuming Grams held Prue to a higher standard. And the reason I'm saying I assume that is because they're always talking about how Prue basically helped raise them. So for her to have helped raise them, that meant Grams was expecting her to hold a high level of responsibility. That wasn't just she was deciding to whatever. So I think when Piper became the oldest living sister, for her, it was, kind of like, okay, I can step into this, and I don't want to, and I'm probably not going to do it well, but I'm gonna try. And I think she gave it her best shot. Like, I really do think she gave it her best shot, and I think it was successful. But from the same way that she kind of led Phoebe, here's the thing. I do want to say this, and this is not a knock towards the character, so I'm going to go out of my way to say that this is what I'm about to say is not a knock towards the character. I think that Piper had moments where she led them. I don't think that she was their leader, if that makes any sense. Like, you can lead a team without being the leader. And I think that people who are Piper stans get really caught up in, oh, she led the team, she led the charge, she didn't, and that's okay. That's the thing about it, is that, like, it's okay that she didn't lead the charge every time they did something, because that wasn't Piper's character. For Piper to have led the way I think some people think in or perceive in her mind, in their minds, that Piper led the team, I think would have had to be a complete 180 from the person that she was. And it's okay to acknowledge that she changed as a person while still remaining true to herself. Piper was never going to be the one that was going to be like, okay, y'all, okay, baby, Zay is cutting up. Zay is cutting up. And I don't know what Zay look like, but me and Zay are friends now because, baby, he is cutting up. They are cutting up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for if I misgendered. And I think that what Piper, coming from the perspective of being the middle child, did for the team was having more, giving everyone else more of a chance to take the helm every now and again. Like it gave everyone more equal opportunity. Now, I'm still not in the camp that says that, oh, Prue had to be unalived for everyone else to grow. I don't think that that's true. I do not think that that's true. And I think that if you, no. I think that that view of the show is very limiting to the characters because I think that that underestimates who they are, and you stop letting them be people, which, I mean, I know that these aren't real people. Like, I know these aren't real people, but what I'm saying is, like, you take away the potential for character growth when you say Prue had to be gone, because she didn't have to be. I think what would have naturally happened, that part, this is not an anime. She was not the Supreme. She did not have to be unalive so that the next Supreme could take her place. That's not what happened. I think that what would have happened naturally if Prue had stayed there is, I think that as they started to change, Prue probably would have been the one to struggle. Prue probably would have been the one to struggle the most in like the later seasons if she had stayed. Because I think as Phoebe started to grow more and be more independent from the team and the group, and as Piper started to be more independent and say like, girl, I'm gonna sit this out. Y'all call me if you need me. And I'm talking about truly, oh, thank you, friend. I'm talking about truly just be like, look, I'm not doing this. I gotta focus on my family. I gotta like, if she had made that way for herself and it started clashing with Prue, I think Prue would have really struggled with how I'm not being a big sister anymore and they don't need me. And to me, I don't know what that means. What am I trying to say? Yeah, and so I think that what would have happened is eventually the Power of Three would have reformed. I mean, not reformed, but I think the Power of Three would have rebonded because they would have understood more about where they were in life at that point. And so the bond that they already had. Okay, Naruto, baby. Naruto Kim. I don't know if you're not listening to what I'm saying or if maybe I'm not explaining it right. Maybe I'm not explaining it right. So you ask me the question that you need to ask me because you're saying so it was like she had to die. That's not what I said. I'm literally going into like a long-winded explanation as to why I don't think that that is true. So you let me know what part is not clicking. You let me know. How would the sisterhood dynamic have worked had Patty not given up Paige and all four grew up together? I'm gonna come back to that. Because I want to finish explaining this. So that's my little thought process on Prue if Prue would have stayed. Like, they would have eventually gotten to a place where Prue felt comfortable enough to go lead her own life. And they would have been more equal, especially in power, I think. Because I do think that if with the way Piper was going to change anyway, and probably become a little bit more assertive in her own life, I think she was going to get, I don't know whether she would get that specific power, her exploding power, but I do think Piper would be, as far as like boom boom abilities go, probably more on par with them. Like, let's say they grew in magically in the way they did when they went to the future, and Prue has got her advanced telekinesis, Phoebe can levitate and do the, reflective empathy thing, whatever. And I do think Piper would have had something where she could handle herself more in the field. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's me. That's me personally. So I think that would have put them on equal playing ground as well. And even as it was, Piper knew what she was doing as far as magic goes. She just didn't care. Like, she would do it when she had to do it. It wasn't something I'm actively going out and practicing. However, I do have the knowledge to do it if I want to. So their power of 3, I think, would have been that next level. So with Piper as the older sister, I think they just kind of got like a speed run to it. And instead of having to go through the growth of them conflicting and not, meshing for a while and then having to come back together, instead of us having to go through that whole storyline and watching Prue understand more about what, it means to have these sisters who are more independent and don't necessarily need to rely on her. Instead of that, we kind of got the speed round version of it, because Prue is gone. And so instead of us going through a longer arc, all the dynamics got shifted real quick. And oh, come on, roses. Come on. Yes. Come on. Baby, we stand. I am the visuals, baby. Yeah, I get the eating. My God. Girl, I don't care. Listen, come on, bankrolling, because, girl, all right. All right. Because, all right. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know. I done got all off track. Child. Oh, Lord. Let me catch my breath. Child. My God. My God. Child. Girl, I had to stop for a second. That threw me off. Baby, thank you. So, I don't know who Joe is, but Joe said something about, let me go back, because I don't want to misquote. And I don't want to say somebody said something and they didn't. Prue was too powerful as a first child / witch, then the first charmed one. Okay. I feel like it is not fair to talk about Prue was too powerful when we had a being like Wyatt on the show. Like, there is no way that you can tell me Prue was too powerful while Wyatt is even alive. We finna support. Listen, that's my friend, y'all. That's my friend. Baby, listen, I'm gonna keep that to myself. Yes, ma'am. Baby, y'all cutting up. Y'all are cutting up, and we live for it. What was I gonna say? So, okay. So, Joe is saying she was in the first Bloodlines. I'm not saying that Prue wasn't powerful. And I would say they made Prue overly competent as opposed to, OP powerful magic-wise. Like, Wyatt was OP magic-wise. Prue was overly competent. And I think you can kind of... Wyatt was a firstborn, first charmed born, and also half angle. Oh, well, what kind of angle was he? Obtuse? Prue never reached her potential, unfortunately, but was on her way there. And see, here's the thing about that, is that I do think that Prue, God, I do think that Prue was doing a lot, right? And not because the character was, but because, well, I was just asking. When I saw angle, I was like, which angle? Acute? Obtuse? 90-degree? What are we doing? Um, but here's the thing. Is that narratively, right? I think that am I excusing it? No, that's not what I'm doing. And I am going to go back to the actual story, because this is one of the few things that I think that there can be a story aspect to it, but I think that there's more of a storytelling aspect to it. I personally am of the opinion that the writers overcompensated a lot of Prue being competent, because I feel like they kind of were setting up, what are we going to do without her? You know what I mean? Like, I think season 4 without Prue, they were like, okay, we can't just go, because before that, Prue was cutting up, but I feel like she wasn't cutting up like she was in season 3. Like, before, she was just competent. She was willing to jump in, save innocents, fight demons, things like that. But in season 3, she was doing too much. Like, in season 3, my girl was doing acrobatics. She's controlling empath powers that were not meant for her within 24 hours, jumping off the walls, jumping up and off the ceiling. She was just about levitating herself. And it's just like, there was too much going on with her. And I think, for me, am I saying that they knew from episode 1 that they were going to write her out next season? No. But I do think at a certain point they were like, we have to set it up just in case, so that way when season 4 comes, if we take her out, then we can do the whole what are Piper and Phoebe gonna do without her thing. I think that a lot of her taking the lead was for the next season. I don't think that like Marcel said, like not really levitating, but kind of levitating. You know, like, why was Prue running up walls? Why was Prue able to jump up in the air high and kick those 2 demons and wrestling with the demon? Or wrestling with demons. Like, you know what I mean? Like, things like that didn't make any sense. Like, she was like, why is she low-key using this girl's powers? Why is she low-key, every time something happens, she's like, oh, I'm gonna make a flow chart? Are you trying to have some great value premonitions? Like, what do you mean you're making a flow chart? What is the flow chart gonna do? What you gonna get from that? What are you going to learn from the flow chart that we didn't already know? She said, listen, you can look into the future with your little flashes, and I'm gonna look into the future with my flow charts. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. And I think that all of that was an attempt to, especially, I think you can really see it in the first couple of episodes of season 4. Like, when Phoebe is fake crying over that pissy jacket, and she's like, how are we supposed to take on the Source without her? And it was like, is that what you're worried about in this moment? Because you're supposed to be crying over your sister. Why are you worried about the Source? But it's okay. And then even when they vanquished Shax, you know, Phoebe was like, it's not enough. We got to get the Source. And that's one of my favorite scenes, because Paige was like, the Source of what? And Piper kind of did that eye roll and was like, okay, here we go. She was like, I'm the all evil. And Paige was like, Paige said, Paige said, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't know what y'all got going on, but I'll tell you what, in the year of our Lord, I'm not doing that. Paige was like, baby, in the year of our Lord, 2001, I am not doing that. I didn't know y'all were up in here talking about, I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm gonna block some people, ain't it? Because, baby, y'all, we not talking about nothing going on behind the scenes. Let's not do that. We're not doing that. Now, Blake said the Angle of Destiny really had the Eldest Power department on speed dial for Piper. But yeah, y'all, please, I am begging you to please stop talking about the actresses, because that ain't got nothing to do with anything. Yes, we know that is a huge part, or not a huge part, but a part of what happened, but that's not what we're focusing on. We're just supposed to be having, fun. Just having us some fun. That's all we're supposed to be doing. That's all. Here's the thing, is Piper used to kick. What? Oh. Let me hush, child. Not Piper used to. Let me hush. Let me leave it alone. So I did see somebody say that Paige's powers were necessary to the story. I feel like they weren't necessary. I feel like the story worked around them to make them necessary, if that makes sense. And by that, I'm talking about her orbing specifically, and really her telekinetic orbing, but her orbing specifically, because I think that the show had it, like, continue with Prue, I think they would have just done what they wanted to do. Like, they just would have still been driving to hunt demons and had to go stop and get gas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I genuinely feel like it would have been the same thing. Like, on Buffy would run places. Buffy didn't know how to drive, so Buffy would run. Buffy would be in her Block Hills, and she would be running down Main Street in Sunnydale, California. And we didn't question it. We didn't try to say, well, why is she doing that? We just said, listen, Buffy got in her, she got her some good insoles for them shoes, and that was it. That was it. Like, oh, thank you for saying I'm adorable. Oh, thank you. You know, we can definitely have a Buffy. Somebody asked about Buffy, and we can definitely have a discussion about that. But I'm telling you, Buffy got in her shoes and that was a wrap. Buffy would run down Main Street, and with the Charmed ones, I mean, we had 3 seasons of them pulling up in a BMW truck or a Jeep. So it's not like they couldn't get what they needed to get. And like somebody said, they did have Leo. So even though Leo would go in and out of when he could and couldn't orb them, I do think later on, he probably would, like, they would have been like, Leo, we don't have time for this. Like, I definitely think that had the show continued with Prue, I think that they would have been like, Leo, we don't have time to go get in the car, start it, let it warm up because it's cold outside, and then turn the heat on in the heated seats, and then make sure that there is no traffic and stop at stoplights when we have to save innocents. We don't have time for that. So you need to just orb us where we need to go, and then we go from there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think they would have started incorporating What are y'all talking about? What is y'all in here talking about? Who being, what are we talking about with somebody being old? What y'all talking about? Let me go look, because y'all cutting up tonight. Y'all cutting up a little bit tonight. And, all right. Oh, y'all. Okay, it's Leo slander. Leo slander. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Remember when Phoebe sent that got us Timbuktu with a spell? Yeah, I feel like that's what would have happened. I feel like they would have started using more spells or like potions to get around. I think that's what would have happened. Me personally. Yeah, imagine that you are a witch or an innocent in trouble and the charmed ones are supposed to come save you, but they can't because traffic is bad. Like, do you know how shameful that would be? Like, that's crazy. That would be absolutely insane. Like, like the angel of destiny is having a meeting with the elders and and all these other magical beings and being like, okay, why didn't the charmed ones get there to save this person? And they bring the charmed ones in and they're like, okay, listen, traffic was bad. There was a wreck on the interstate. There was a wreck on the interstate. We couldn't get past it. I'm sorry. They be like, listen, down on Fifth Avenue, the traffic light was out. And so I forgot how to use the four-way. And so I couldn't, I'm sorry. We couldn't get there in enough time. That's all I can tell you. Oh, God, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. Lord Jesus, have mercy. Because these heifer was stuck on the 405. That part. That part. That's how Phoebe's man died. That is exactly true. That is exactly true. Because that man blocked Piper in. Piper couldn't get out. And what did they have to do? Because Paige wasn't there. They had to get out and run. Piper was in her sensible shoes with her sensible wedge. And I don't even remember what Phoebe was wearing. And they said, listen, this reminds me of the old days where we had to hoof it. Oh, God. Oh, y'all, y'all, it's hot. We got the heat on because it's cold outside. And I'm about to turn this sucker off. Oh, God. Because can you imagine? Can you imagine, like, Phoebe? Can you imagine Phoebe before she got her car being like, oh, God, I couldn't get to the interstate. I mean, I couldn't get to the Innocent because my Uber didn't come on time. Paige being like, look, I was trying to get here a little earlier, but the Uber didn't come, okay? He said he had to stop and do an Uber Eats order, and then he came here. So that's why me and the car smell like chicken marsala. Phoebe would have been like, listen. Oh, Phoebe would have got on that bike. But you know what? Season 3, Phoebe wasn't riding no bike. See, that was season 1. Baby, season 3, Phoebe was not getting on a bicycle. She was too cute. That was, even before she got a job, she got too cute to get on a bicycle. She wasn't finna do that. She was gonna get right on in Prue's car, and she was gonna drive. And she was gonna drive. She was gonna say, listen, I need to borrow your car, and I need to go where I need to go, and don't ask me no questions. But I'll tell you anyway, because I know you're gonna ask me questions. And she was not playing with no bicycle after that. And then when she got cute and she got that car, oh baby, Phoebe stopped even fighting. She said, She said, baby, I got wheels now. I'm not doing that. She said, we're not doing that. We're not featuring that in the year of our Lord, 2003. Well, she got the car in 2002, technically, I guess. Point is, still, Phoebe wasn't gonna do all that. So, I don't even remember what we were talking about, but that done tickled me today. That has tickled me today to think about Phoebe Halliwell being like, I'm sorry, I couldn't say the innocent, baby. My Uber didn't get here in time. Jack, that used to date Prue, is driving Ubers, and he didn't get here in time. I'm sorry. Oh Lord, y'all, I'm sorry. It's hot. I'm about to open up this window, but I don't need to. I don't want to stand up because y'all gonna know I'm fat. And I don't need y'all to know I'm fat. Well, I mean, you know it, but you know what I mean. I'm not trying to expose my fatness on the timeline. Well, Galen, we're not on the timeline, baby. We're on the TikTok Live. Sometimes I have to tell. Did you say we can tell? I had to block Joe because I don't know what that was, and I'm sure that comment wasn't meant in that fashion. But baby, no, we're not doing that. See, I was putting up with Joe this whole time. I was putting up with Joe and the foolishness and the back and forth and the little comments, and I was putting up with it because I ain't trying to overreact. But no, we're not doing that. I don't care. Oh, they was being silly. I don't care. The deed is done. They blocked now. So, have you talked about how season 4 rushed over Prue's death? Like it didn't feel authentic. I rushed over it. I feel like I see what you mean to a certain extent, but I don't think they rushed over it. I think a lot of the reason I wouldn't say that Prue's death was rushed over is because it rippled throughout the entire season. Rushed. Because I understand what you're saying, but I think the important thing to remember is that, okay, so Ed is saying we had like 10 mourning episodes of them mourning. They cried for one episode and then forgot about her. I don't think that that's a fair statement. I don't think that those are fair statements. Because I think they didn't have time to mourn probably the way we would have liked them to. Except Phoebe. Phoebe didn't care from the jump. But when I say that I don't think that's a fair statement is, like, even when they vanquished... No. When was that? I think it was at the end of Charmed Again. Was it at the end of Charmed Again Part 2? Piper gave Ally to who? I think it was at the end of Charmed Again Part 2. I think it was. I can't remember. And Piper was like, I feel like I haven't had a chance to mourn. And Phoebe was like, we'll have the rest of our lives to mourn. Now, with that being said, that surface level statement doesn't necessarily mean a huge thing, right? But I think in the bigger scope of what season 4 was, they didn't necessarily have time to sit there and mourn the way you or I would. Like, they didn't have time to cry and be upset and roll around in it and be depressed because the source was coming after them. I mean, like, within the first week of Paige being a witch, or like what, the first week, the first 2 days, he tried to turn Paige evil. You know, even in Hell Hath No Fury, that was only within the first couple of weeks of Prue 9. And Piper is a Fury. Paige don't know what's going on. And Phoebe is having to now take the helm and try to save Piper. Like, you see what I mean? Like, there wasn't time to really breathe. There wasn't time for them to sit there and say, okay, I'm really sad about this. They had, I think for their survival, they had to move on. Now, I don't want to say move on because I don't think they moved on. For their survival, I think they kind of had to like push it back. And I think that that was a huge kind of like theme in Charmed, is that they were constantly pushing trauma back, pushing it back, pushing it back, pushing it back. Because Prue had pushed back her, trauma and feelings about Patty. She had pushed back her, fear and trauma about Andy. The same thing with Piper and Patty. Phoebe basically was just out there doing her own thing, And when Prue died, Piper and Phoebe didn't really get a chance to just roll around in it. They had to move forward. They had to get up the next day. Because if they didn't get up the next day and they stayed in the bed, the source was going to get them. So, and then the other reason I don't feel like that's really a fair statement is that they really, even after the source was vanquished, by then it was kind of like, we've already put the trauma to the side. I've already locked this away. It's time to go. And I think that's why we see Piper have that little mini breakdown when Phoebe turned evil. Because in her mind, she's not living up to what Prue was. In her mind, she's not being the big sister that she's supposed to be. And after all of that time of putting this to the side, missing Prue, what would Prue do? What would Prue say? Whatnot. She's having to face something that she feels like Prue wouldn't have let happen. Now, whether that's true or not is a completely different statement, because Prue can't control what Phoebe does. So Prue can't say, Phoebe better not turn evil because I'm a whooper. But in Piper's mind, Prue had that kind of power, and she feels like she does not have the ability to do what Prue did. So with that, even with Phoebe going too cold and choosing to be his queen, I do feel like, of course, the baby had a big part in that, because he was evil and he was, influencing her or whatever. But I still think Phoebe chose to be with him because it was like, girl, this is the closest thing I'm gonna get to a family, a complete family right now. And that's why I always say Phoebe and Piper are two sides of the same coin. And I think Phoebe wanted what Piper had. Not that she was jealous of her, but she wanted the same thing that Piper had. And, with a husband and the family and whatnot. So, you see what I'm saying? I think everything, even Paige's whole storyline that season was specifically, comparing herself to Prue and feeling like she didn't fit into this family and trying to find her place in it, trying to figure out who she was. And so like Prue's death had a ripple through the entire season. Everything was, based on her. And that's why I think in the in the season finale, when Piper, we find out that she's pregnant and she chooses to stay a witch. And even Phoebe, here's the thing. In which way now? When Phoebe was ready to give up magic, I think that showed how tired they were. Like, I think that showed how over it they were. It was like, okay, girl, we've been fighting a good fight and we done lost Prue. And now we got an option to leave, and Paige is the only one who's trying to stay. At first, I used to think that was just them trying to like recycle a storyline, with them. But I don't think that's true, because I think I had to challenge my thought on that because I really had to think about the fact that Phoebe was probably tired because within the stretch of a year, she lost Prue, she lost Cole, she lost the baby that she was having with Cole that she thought was whatever, however you want to go with that. She lost that baby. And so it's like there was so much. Y'all, our cat is cutting up. Just so Phoebe was mentally over it, and I think that is a direct, like pathway from Prue's death. Because if it had been, if let's just say Prue had stayed, and season 4 they vanquished the Source, whatever, and then season 5 they vanquished Cole as the Source, however you want to play that. I think if they got the same opportunity. Not something. What is it? Piece of fuzz. If they got the same opportunity, Phoebe would have been like, "No, girl, I'm not giving up magic." That's me, because I think losing Cole by itself would not make her want to give up magic, or it would kind of be like when Prue lost Andy, and they would have to sort of bring her back around and remind her why she loved being a witch, but she wouldn't have wanted to actively just be like, "Girl, I'm done," the way she did with losing Prue and Cole. So, who's saying my name? Oh, I was like, who is this saying my name in the chat, child? That's about the third time I've seen my name. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Somebody asked a question, and and I don't remember what it was, but what happened to Miss Independent? Let's see. Oh, the time frame. So somebody asked about the time frame between Prue's death and then the first episode of season 1. There was like a week in between, which is hilarious to me because Piper came back with a tan. But yeah, there was like a week between the end of season 3 and the beginning of season 4. And they, like, that's why they hadn't even had the funeral yet, because it was like literally Prue had just got thrown through the wall. And it really might not even have been a week. It might have been a couple of days, because don't say that, but some people bury their dead really, really quick. And so it could have been 2 days for all we know, honestly. So that's all I'm saying, baby, because when I don't care what anybody says, when they were in that attic, it wasn't just the dark light. Piper had a tan. Mama came back with an entire tan, because I remember thinking, like, because she didn't look like that at the funeral. And so she didn't look like that at the funeral. So I was like, it must have been a couple of days in between when they filmed that first episode, like that first scene, and then the rest of it. Because why does Piper have a tan? Where did she go? Piper went to hell. Piper went to hell trying to find Prue. She said, "Baby, listen, I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go over there, I'm gonna go over here, and hopefully I'm gonna find the woman somewhere." And she never did. Bless her heart, she never did. She was just looking and looking and looking, and she never found her. She was just a looking, and she never came back around, never to be seen again. Okay, I don't know why I made that noise. My bad. Oh. Yeah, thank you. I don't know what's going on, but we don't put the sisters against each other. This ain't that kind of page. This ain't that kind of Paige Matthews. You see what I did there? You see what I did there? Oh my God. So If y'all don't know, my one of my absolute favorite noises that they make on Charmed is the when Natalie gets hit with the dark light arrow. You know, he puts the dark light and narrow arrow in her gut, and she's like, yeah. I don't know what it is about that noise that tickles me beyond all belief. But for some reason, Natalie going, yeah, is the funniest thing. And I really feel like there's something wrong with me. Like, I feel like I feel like there's something wrong with me, because why am I laughing at that scene? But every single time, because you know, Prue goes in for the attack and he throws Prue back and she does that spin in the air and then she breaks the table. And then Piper does it. Piper tries to freeze him and he throws her attack, like her power back at her, and she like very gently falls back into the ground and you know, whatever. And I was like, okay. And then Phoebe's just standing there like, and then he takes the dark lighted arrow and he's like, whatever he says, I don't remember what he says. And he's like, he stabs Nat, and she's like, no. Oh. Oh God. Oh Lord. If y'all don't know, I get caught up. I get caught up on little noises so much. Little noises, the way people say stuff, whatever else. I get so caught up on it. Like Piper's little Piper when they went into the past, and little Piper's freezing sound. I get caught up on it every single time. Every single time. That is always like, it made a little I can't do it, but y'all know what I'm saying. Let me see if I can find it, because y'all not finna play in my face like that. Even though nobody said anything and there's no reason for me to think that anybody did, y'all still not finna play in my face. What happened to Miss Independent? Who sings that song? What happened to Miss Independent?
Hey, is that a raindrop? McDelivery it is.
Why did that scare me? Piper said, what happened to Miss Independent? Okay, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Because the phone, like, my phone was connecting to my computer. Are y'all gaslighting me again? Because I feel like, oh, that is Kelly Clarkson, isn't it? Oh my God. Okay, because I thought nobody was answering my question. And I was finna get mad at y'all because I thought y'all were gaslighting me again. Oh, here it is. Y'all hush. We finna listen. So listen with your ears. Listen with your ears, not with your heart. Listen with your ears. I think y'all are gaslighting me. Yeah. Listen. Okay, not that. It's so cute. It's so cute. She's like, it's so cute. It's so adorable when she freezes and it makes a little sound and it's like, yeah. Wait, one more time. Freeze him. It's just so adorable. It's just so cute. It is so cute. Could y'all hear that? Because if you couldn't, I'm not playing it again. Oh my God. Where is Blinded by the White Lighter, Charmed? What happened to Miss Independent? Let's see. Where? Time for amends and a victim's revenge. Cloning power turned sour. Power to change turned the strange. I'm rejecting your defection. Okay. What happened to Miss Independent? Okay. Oh, let me see if you go. Oh, wait. Y'all listen. Y'all hush. You probably can't hear this one. I feel like this one ain't good. Listen. Can y'all hear that? Before I play it, can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear it? I paused it, but okay. So listen, this is Nat Nat making the noise.
She was right. Way too easy.
Way too easy. No. Wait.
She was right. Way too easy.
No. Y'all, I swear to God, the first time I actually listened to that woman say that, I was so tickled. The first time I really like heard her say, no, I was like, girl, are you okay? And then I was like, no, she's not okay. She's... Oh, Lord. So, okay. So let me tell y'all about... Emilio is saying you should play Patty when she says Prue. So here's the thing. Y'all know that before Finola Hughes got there to play Patty, there was another lady who played Patty. And and so that lady, when she played Patty and Prue was underwater, she was talking to Prue and she was like, Prue. Prue. And then when Finola Hughes came in to play Patty and she was talking to Piper when she was underwater, she was like, Piper. From fear to... Let's see if I can see it, because y'all might not. Y'all might be like, that's not how they said that. But that's what I think. When she was like, Piper. What happened to Mr. Independent? Oh, baby, that is loud. Oh my God. I am so sorry, y'all. So wait. Let me find the moment. So this is when the lady who's playing Patty comes to Prue, right? So y'all listen. And she's gonna say like, Prue. Wait, y'all listen. Prue. Wait. She's like, Prue. Prue.
You must face your fears, Prue.
You must face your fears, Prue.
You must trust in the greatest of all powers, love.
Girl, shut up.
Save yourself. Save your sister. Don't be afraid.
It was given very much Lily Potter in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Remember when they were talking and Voldemort and Harry's wand met for the first time and all the ghosts came out and James was serious. James was like, when the wands disconnect, you're only going to have a brief moment to go and all of us are going to stop Voldemort and and like James is like giving James is giving directions. James is like we gotta be concise. We gotta get it done. We gotta go. When we say go, you gotta go. Right? James is on it. And Lily is like, you're ready, sweetheart. Let go. Let go. And I was like, why is she baying at the moon? What is happening? Why is Lily Potter's ghost baying at the moon, telling her son to go? I was like, what are we doing? What is this? Because James is like giving this full-blown explanation. He's talking fast. He's going. He's like, baby, look, if you can't keep up, then I don't know what to tell you because you're going to have to keep it. You're going to have to keep this going. We got some plan and we got to let it go. And Lily's like, you're ready, sweetheart. Let go. Let go. Damn. Excuse me? right? And then when Lily was talking, but then this is what's so funny. When Lily was still alive, when Voldemort was getting ready to unalive her, and she turns around and talks to baby Harry, she's giving a 15-minute speech. Lily is giving a 15-minute speech. Mama and Dada love you, Harry. We will always be with you. And if you ever need the recipe to my macaroni and cheese, it's downstairs. And it's in one of the drawers, but you're going to have to actually go look for it, which you probably won't be able to do because you'll be too old. And you're not going to know that we were here, Harry. But Mummy and Daddy love you. And also, I don't know if you remember this. You probably won't remember this, but your favorite stuffed bear is over there. And his name is Johnny. You love to call him Johnny. Girl, this man is about to hit you with this green light. Mama? Come on. I know you can't apparate right now because, of the protections on the house. But girl, jump out the window. Something. She's sitting up here giving this whole speech to a baby. And the baby is not going to remember any of it. But then we get a chance for you to actually talk to him and be like, listen, this is what we need you to do. Always keep us in your hearts, Harry. Always remember who we are. And she's like, you're right there, sweetheart. Let go. Let go. Okay. It's given I didn't think I was going to see you today and I didn't have anything prepared. That's what it's given. It's given very much. I didn't know that I was going to see you today. And I had to come up with something. And this is all I got. You're ready. Let go. Let go. That's all I got for you. She was like, anything outside of that. I'm trying to find the scene of Piper in the water because that one is funny to me too, because she's like, when she's like, Piper, I may have to actually play the episode, but I don't want to do that. That's going to take too much work. And she's like, Piper, what happened to Miss Independent? Open Phoebe's heart to Cole. Reveal the secrets that it holds. From now until it's now again after which memory. Girl, I don't remember that spell. I don't. It was open, and we just read it like last week, and I don't remember it to save my life. Open Phoebe's heart to Cole. That part. Open Phoebe's heart to Cole. That part which only is her whole or something. I don't know. Whatever. It's whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all actually got me. We literally just read it last week. And not only did we just read it last week, but I was the one up here that went out of my way to read it because I was like, oh, that spell was hitting. Oh, that spell was hitting. Okay, well, it couldn't have been hitting too hard if I can't remember it. And we just read it from last week. I am gaslighting myself. And I feel like it's because of y'all. I feel like y'all are the reason I'm gaslighting myself. But that's neither here nor there. Because all y'all gonna do is deny it. And I'm not finna let y'all deny that you're gaslighting me. Okay, we're not here for all of that. I am literally only here for the part where Piper's in the water. And what's that lady's name? What's that woman that's not alive no more? What's her name? Patty. And she's like, Piper, you're scared. And then the thing about it is, Patty made it all about her, right? And Patty was like, you're scared to leave your baby the way I left you. Ma'am. Okay, wait. Let me see if this is it.
Carry warning labels. Tell me about it. Leo.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the whole scene.
Where's Piper?
Leo's so useless.
Piper.
Piper. Piper. Piper. And like, she genuinely is like, I know you're drowning right now, but we need to have an entire conversation. Like, she's like, girl, I got a lot to say right now. She was not Lily Potter. Let me play it again because, okay, I know I started laughing. Okay.
Where's Piper?
Where's Piper? Shut up.
Piper, I know why you've been afraid. You don't want to leave your baby the way I left you. But spells won't make that fear go away. Only faith will. Have faith that your destiny is different than mine. Take my hand, sweetie.
Girl, shut up. Shut up. She done made this whole thing about her. Patty made the entire thing about her. She said, baby, listen, I was the first one that drowned, so don't get cute. She said, y'all coming for my gig. Don't try me. And then here's the other thing is Paige can telekinetically orb, right? And why not just call for Piper? And then Leo is standing right there. He can sense her. So why not just be, well, they got her out pretty quick. So I'm going to leave them folks alone. But still, it's just, it just gets on my nerves. Because here's my thing is Patty. Okay. Piper was in the water drowning. This woman was literally drowning. And Patty was like, okay, I'm gonna come sit on mommy's couch because I'm finna go ahead and psychoanalyze you real quick. Patty, this ain't the time, baby. This is not the time for you to be bringing up how you got in the kiddie pool and never came back. Get the girl out the water. Can you just help the girl get out the water? Please. Because right now, you giving me nothing. And I need you to give me something. And what I need you to give me is a hand. I need you to give me a hand. And right now, you're not giving it to me. You're giving me some good but unnecessary advice in the moment. Just come back another day. Like, girl, listen, all you got to do is sparkle shine up in there and just say, okay. Girl, I saw you was in the water. And I just wanted to say I'm sorry that happened to you. I know what happened when I was in the water. And I feel like maybe that's why you're a little, you know. That's all she had to do. Just come back the next day. But no. Patty said, I'm going to take this moment and I'm going to let you know. Like, I can't. Patty, she was waiting for her moment. That's exactly it. Patty said, listen, because she did the same thing with Prue. When Prue was underwater, drowning, she was sitting here having a whole conversation with her. Patty did not want them girls alive. Patty said, listen, I should have done y'all like I did that last one and left y'all outside of Applebee's and Arby's, but I didn't. And I regret that. Girl, you don't even come back that much when they alive. Like Catherine said, she waits till they on death's door. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's giving very much. Do you want to see where mommy lives now? Like it's giving that. Because why are you waiting until my girls are almost getting up out of here to be like, well, let me give you an entire conversation on why I think you're doing what you're doing. Like, come on now. Why was everything Patty's fault when Victor wasn't even paying child support? I don't know how to respond to that. Because I don't know if it's a joke or not. Are Are you joking? Or are you not? Like, I'm literally speechless. I am speechless. Like, I was trying to come up with a witty comeback, and I don't have one. Okay. I am gagged. I am gagged real quick. Like, you got me, gal. You got me. Because I don't know whether it's a joke or not. And I'm just gonna be quiet. Graham said we don't want his muggle money per. Graham said, I don't know what to tell you, but you better not bring that mortal money over here. Do you think Victor raising them would have left them more vulnerable? No. Because they made a big point in the beginning to say that as long as they didn't have their powers, I guess the demons couldn't find them or whatever. And so they were safe from evil. So my thing with that is that if Victor had gotten the kids, as long as their powers were bound, then I think they would have been okay. Like, I don't think demons would have been coming after them, to my knowledge. Like, to what, from my understanding of the television program, I don't think that demons would have been coming after them. So I think that he would have been able to raise them. Now, excuse me, my God. The point that you run into with that, is that Grams did not want them to go with Victor because she didn't like Victor. And that's why I say Grams is low-key a villain in the story too. Because here's my thing. Yes, of course she loved them. Of course she raised her granddaughters, like, responsibly. Well, she raised her granddaughters with love. But she was always kind of alluding to, like, only she can protect them. Only she can teach them who they need to be. And she can do this and she can do that. But it doesn't make any sense. Because what are you protecting them from? I mean, I get what you're protecting them from while they live in the house. You would think if Grams was smart that she would have let them go live with Victor so they could be safe. So that they could be away from the demons and they could be away from, whatever. But she let her personal opinion of him and her personal feelings get in the way. And that's why I say Grams is a villain, because she didn't give them a chance. Like, she didn't give them a shot. And then she wanted to, and I've gone back and forth with people about this before, but Grams wanted the girls to take the girls' powers, right? So in Pre-Witch, she's making the potion when the day she, is unalived, and she falls down them stairs and takes a tumble. She's making the potion to, take their powers away and strip them. Well, she was talking about they're not ready. Well, girl, have you been getting them ready? Did you tell them about this magical destiny? Did you give them an opportunity to say, okay, let me change my life. Let me get this together. Let me do this and that. You didn't. You felt like they weren't ready for magic because they didn't have the bond that you wanted them to have. You know what I'm saying? Like, you made a decision and a choice to keep their powers from them, to make it to where they didn't know what was going on. And you expect them to conform to an idea that you have in your head, when the whole point of them fighting, they grew up as mortal sisters. They didn't grow up knowing that they had a shared destiny. Like, if you had just told them about magic. Now, here's the thing. Even with telling them about magic, one of them could have been like, I don't want no part of that. It probably would have been Piper. It would have just been like, I don't want any part of that. And that's fine. But you've given them a choice at that point. But she never gave them a choice. Then just tried to take the powers because she felt like they weren't ready. Well, Penny, what? It just makes me sick to think about. And the fact that she's like, oh, you know what demon, she was talking to Patty, and she's like, you know, demons are gonna be coming after her and whatever, coming after them and whatever else. Well, yeah, Penny, but they don't know that. And she's like, when I die, Patty, the girls are gonna get their powers. Yeah, they are. Yeah, Penny. Yeah, they are. And the deep explorer said, wasn't it also because of Nicholas? It was because of Nicholas, yes. But my point, I feel like, still stands, that she didn't prepare them for magic. Like, she didn't prepare them. She could have told them, she could have lied. I mean, she already was lying about Paige. So she could have lied and been like, hey, you know, when you guys turn 18 or whatever age, or when Phoebe turns 18 and y'all are all, you know, adults, legal adults or whatever, you know, on Phoebe's 18th birthday, the three of you are going to get your powers. And so when you three, or she could have just said when she dies, she could have just left it at that and just been like, you know, when I'm gone, you three are going to get your powers. And so you need to be ready when that time comes. She could have lied and said it was something to where like they could only have magic after she was gone. And then you could have gone from there, but she could have taught them, you know, she could have taught them magic. She could have taught them potions and spells, and they could have been ready. And then when they got their powers, the only thing that they would have needed to do at that point is master the powers and actually learn how to use them. So that's why I say, like, and then let them know Nicholas is a warlock and Nicholas is going to be coming after you, and you need to be, because Nicholas was coming to the house every year giving them flowers, giving Penny flowers. Do you know how messed up that is? That she was letting the warlock who is the reason for her binding their powers in the first place, but that helped them grow. That's not the point. Saying that helped them. We need to throw this word grow out, because I think a lot of people have a lot of different definitions of it. Saying that helped them grow is one thing. What I'm saying is that she did not let them grow as witches. She let them be humans, and then held the human interactions that they had to the standard of witches. And it's like they're not ready to handle it. No, they're not ready to handle it, because you didn't get them ready for it. So you can't say they're not ready to handle it, because you don't know what they can handle. You know that you think they can't handle it, because let's just roll the tape back a little bit. Really and truly, Graham saying that she could bind the kids' powers, that was a Graham's thing. Patty didn't say that. Graham's I'm pretty sure Grams knew about him. Yeah, she did. She knew. She had to have known. She knew what Nicholas looked like. She had seen him. And so I vaguely remember Graham seeing Piper having a skill in cooking, which translated to potion making. The point, that statement, like two different things. Saying that she saw that Piper could cook and that translated to potion making is fine, but she didn't teach Piper to make potions. She helped Piper be more confident in cooking, but cooking and making and mixing magical ingredients are two different things. To me, I'm gonna say to me. I'm not gonna say that they are in like. The main essence of their powers was their sisterhood. She probably thought if they couldn't get. That's a good point, and I see where you're going with that. I see where you're going with that, and I think that is yet another area where Graham's, I guess I keep rolling back to the same thing. I keep on rolling back to the same thing in my mind, which is that Graham's let them have a mortal sister relationship as opposed to the charmed ones. but she didn't know they were the Charmed Ones until much later. That is a retcon that the show did to try to make the story more epic, because Grams met them as adults when it was just Piper and Prue. Grams met them as adults. Now, maybe she wiped her own memory, because we know she does that, right? I'll give you that. Maybe she did wipe her own memory. However, to tell me that she wiped her memory of that, she would have had to been very specific, which I think Grams could have been, but to have wiped her memory to the point where she forgot that her 3 granddaughters, that she didn't know they were going to become the Charmed Ones is absolutely ridiculous. 3 sisters whose powers were bound. She knew what their powers were. That there's no way she didn't know. And I've seen people say different things, like to say that when she said the Charmed Ones, you become the Charmed Ones, it was more of like a you eventually get your powers, like. And I could kind of see it from that angle of meeting them and being like, oh, y'all got your powers, okay. But Grams acted like she never would have imagined that they're the Charmed. Yeah, she would have figured it out once Phoebe was born. Exactly. And she would have needed the knowledge of what happened with Nicholas. But then what was she doing with it? Okay. Let's double back to this, right? So Grams in the future, in the past, right? Never, from the time that happened, where the girls came back from the future, went back from the future, went back from that point until when they went up against Nicholas, she never wrote a spell in the book to vanquish Nicholas. She never wrote it. Never put the spell in the book. Never thought nothing about it. Double back, the girls go back and say, hey, this is what's going on, and then she writes a spell in the book. I can't. I can't. Why did it take them going back in the past and her knowing that they were going to have to go up against Nicholas and her directly seeing them and talking to them to be like, okay, now I can put a spell in the book? What? That doesn't make any sense. Because when Piper was like, that was not there before. No, it wasn't, because Grams didn't put a spell in there. She said, y'all could just figure it out. She said, y'all just going to have to figure it out. I'm sorry to tell you, baby. Like she probably didn't want them to turn because of how they were acting. What does that mean? I think it was protection because they weren't ready. I don't know what that means. So I'm not going to comment on that. Yeah. The whole Nicholas thing, it was very rushed because they should have done something completely different. Yeah, Nicholas went to the house every year and would give Penny flowers. There is a window of opportunity for young witches, but that doesn't make any sense to say that she was protecting them from that. Because, like, to me, that doesn't, like, that could happen with any witch. Like, any witch could turn evil in that 48 hours. There's no way you can kind of protect them. Like, if you're there to actually guide them yourself, or if they have a white lighter that's not useless like Leo. But to just be like, yeah, I'm not going to give you your powers back. We're just going to strip them. That's crazy. But that's how Penny thought. Penny went to the extremes because in her mind, she had the perfect plan. That's my issue with her. Yeah, baby, because listen, Leo was useless. Leo wouldn't have been able to say, because in their first 48 hours as witches, where was Leo? Sniffing Piper's drawers while she was at Quake. Girl, Lily, I'm not fooling him. It ain't no way. There's no way. But here's my thing, right? Nicholas didn't attack until almost a year after Grams was gone. So really maybe about a year. So my thing is, I did say that. I did say that that's what Lily was doing. I did. And I'll say it again. I'll say it again because that's what he was doing. While Piper was at Quake filling out her new hire packet, Lily was in there sniffing them underpants. He didn't even wait till they were vulnerable new witches. He waited till after the fact. Like, them girls had been sitting up there slipping and sliding and figuring it out all on their own before they ever knew that he was a white lighter. That's why I said useless. Useless. Not underscore, but Rose, whoever you are, saying you heard Prue's actress was a nightmare. We're not doing that. So, thank you, but we're not talking about the actresses. We don't do that here. We don't do that. But the fact, okay, so Meatles balls, girl. See, yeah, he didn't attack until Piper froze him and he noticed the clock stopped. That's how he knew. Yeah, that's true. That is how he figured it out. But the fact that, and I'm not saying that I'm just adding on to what you're saying. The fact that he had been coming to the house for however many years is crazy. The fact that he had been going to that house for years and Grams did not write about him in the book. But here's the thing. Grams ain't write about nothing in that book that they would have in that first season. Let me go back, because then they doubled back and said that Grams added all of this and that into the book that she possibly could. But she didn't write nothing about Nicholas. Right? And not only did she not write anything about Nicholas, she didn't write anything about the Woogie Man. And baby, I had a very long discussion with somebody about the Woogie Man one day, because they were like, well, she trusted that they were going to have good memories and that, they would remember the spell to vanquish the Woogie Man. So that just means that she trusted her granddaughters. That is insane. That is insane to say that that she trusted them. That is insane to say. I want to double back. I want to say this one more time. That is insane to say that she taught these girls a nursery rhyme in hopes that they would remember it as adults, when she has is in possession of a large magical tome in her attic that is meant to write down spells and potions and charms and this and that. That is insane. That you would not write that kind of information down in the Book of Shadows, but you would tell it to your 3 young granddaughters in story form and hope that they remembered it. And Anissa is saying, but it worked though, and she taught them because Phoebe was scared. Baby, that's not negating my point. I promise you it's not. Phoebe remembered it because Phoebe just so happened to remember it. What would have happened if Phoebe had fallen and had some kind of brain injury and couldn't remember it? What would have happened if Phoebe could remember the first part and not the last part? You see what I'm saying? And telling me she remembered it because she was the most scared. That don't mean nothing to me. And I'm not trying to be mean, baby. I'm sorry. I'm not saying it like that. What I'm saying is and I'm so sorry. I promise you, I wasn't saying it like that. Sometimes when I get like in the moment, I just say stuff like that. So, so I'm sorry. I promise you, I'm not trying to get smart with nobody. It just comes out like that sometimes. So I'm so sorry. Because for Phoebe to have remembered that was pure plot armor. That was pure plot armor. Because there is no reason. Thank you. What if Phoebe was just like your normal person? What if she was like because if you okay, let me take a moment. If you told me that Grams told Phoebe in hopes that she would have a vision about it, that would be one thing, right? Because then I could be like, okay, she knew Phoebe's power would kick in, whatever else. Okay, fine, I'll give you that. My problem with that still remains that she did not put that information in the Book of Shadows. Because what if it happened after Phoebe's generation? So what if Phoebe, by the time, let's say Phoebe has kids when she's 35, right? And Phoebe hasn't thought about that story in years. She's reading her kids, she's reading her kids Cinderella and stuff like that. But she ain't thought nothing about this story that Grams used to tell them about the Boogeyman. Like, it was too much riding on they would just remember it. Like, that is crazy to me. That's my thing. Like, you would think that she would have written that in the Book of Shadows. Especially Penny. I want y'all to think about something. And I want y'all to follow me down this little road. Phoebe did witness Grams fighting it. But she just saw Grams put her hand up at it for whatever reason. Even though her power wasn't going to work on it. And then tell her to go to bed. And then she told them the story. So, like... And even then, Phoebe, they had been witches for a while by the time that happened. And Phoebe didn't even put 2 and 2 together that was a real magical thing. She probably just like thought that was just some random memory or random thing. The mother was useless, I'll give you that, but Grams helped. What y'all talking about? Because I feel like I don't know what y'all talking about. But anyway, okay, so let me go back to this. Think about the fact that Grams did not write that information in the book, nor did she write any information in the book about Nicholas. But she put into the Book of Shadows that the necromancer like mint jelly and Clark Gable movies. That woman, I want to reiterate, did not write in the book about a demon that was trapped under the house. Nor did she write about the demon, the warlock, who was after her granddaughters. But she wrote in the book that the man that she was hot in the draws for liked mint jelly and Clark Gable movies. Grams and Phoebe did do just like Grams. The difference is Phoebe at least put other information in the book that was useful for former generations outside of Cole. Graham said, listen, if you don't remember how to vanquish the Boogeyman, baby, I don't know what to tell you. Graham said, baby, you're just gonna have to figure your way through life with the necromancer. She said, you're just gonna have to figure it out. I mean, not the necromancer, but with Nicholas. But the necromancer, baby, let me tell you, every Christmas he loves to watch AMC Christmas movies. And during the summer, he likes to go to different block parties. Girl, he loves to wear him some cashmere. He loves to go to Papados. Girl, I don't even know how this turned into a tangent about Grams. I really don't. I don't even know. I have no idea how this turned into a tangent about Grams. But Grams, girl. Child, I got dehydrated. That's just how hard I was going in on that woman. I got dehydrated. I needed to rehydrate. I was going in on that woman so hard. Child, don't play in my face like that. Don't ever play in my face like that again, Penny. Oh, God, let me stop. I remember I did one video where I did her like reciting some Nicki Minaj lyrics, and I was so tickled, and I kept laughing because I got that voice for her, and I just I had to do it like 15 times because I kept laughing. Okay, wait, let me see. And I couldn't get the words right. I'm Penny Minaj, Penny Lewinsky, Penny the Ninja, Penny the Boss, Penny the Harajuku Barbie. Like, I don't even know why you girls bother at this point. Give it up. It's me. I win. You lose. I think I said you're vanquished. But yeah. Y'all, I did that voice. I had to do that like 15 times because I promise you, I was laughing so hard. I was laughing so hard. And you know, when she get the bob in that head real quick, she mean it. She mean business. She talking big business. Oh, Lord Jesus, have mercy. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna stop talking about that later. Did Penny leave anything about her Brexit to warn them ahead of time? I don't know the answer to that because there was an entry. Well, there wasn't anything in the book. I don't remember if there was anything about Abraxas. I will say that there was a little blurb in there that was like, defeat something with the power of one, or else a larger evil will come to consume you, or something like that, which was a very vague statement to make. It didn't really even allude to Abraxas. It alluded to a demon or some sort of a force, but it didn't say anything about him. And I don't know whether Grams wrote it. I just remember that she came back at that time. So I don't know if that answers your question or not, but thank you. Oh, I've never been called pretty. Thank you. I'm in my cunt era. Hetero. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't care who you are or why I'm here, but I'm here for it. Well, I'm here for it too, Ashley. Ashley Latrell. Is it Latrell? 619. The goose drank wine. Monkey alopecia on the streetcar line. The car broke. The monkey got choked. And they all went to heaven in a little rowboat. Come on, Brad. Brad said, baby, I am a fan and have been a fan since the beginning. Brad said, baby, I've been here since day one. Baby, yes. Giving very much hetero king. Hetero. Stop. I've been loving this show for 20 years and just now found this account. Well, baby, welcome to the family. How are you? Welcome to the coven. We're just being here talking, just chatting, just whatever. I don't even know, what I be talking about half the time. So I'm not going to lie and tell you that there's always, that everything is always going to be, good. Because I don't be knowing what's going on half the time when I start talking. I'm an '06 baby. When did the show air? The show aired from 1998 to 2006, coincidentally. You're so young. Oh my God. Lord Jesus. Lord. There's always that one person that will always have your heart. I don't know why I want to sing that. Oh my God, that sounded so good. I love that song. Y'all don't understand. That when I was in 8th grade, I knew that I was going to eventually, hey Zenchika, how you doing, baby? That's my girl, y'all. Listen, let me tell y'all something. When I was in 8th grade, I knew for sure I was going to have like some big romance and we were going to break up and it was going to be the hardest thing that ever happened to me. And it never happened. But in my mind, that song, when I would hear that song, I was like, you know what? Got to get myself ready. Got to get myself ready for that heartbreak. So anyway, what y'all want to talk about? I do want to go to the Real House. I really do want to go to the Real House. And if I had the money to book a trip to LA, I sure would. But then also I'm scared to go to LA because I feel like I'm gonna get kidnapped. And I don't know why. I really have absolutely no idea why. But I'm scared I'm gonna get kidnapped. And I don't know who I think is gonna kidnap me. But for some reason in my mind, I think I am. And then, but I want to go to the house. I want to see that house real bad. Like real bad. But that's just me. My favorite sister. Not damn, she's short. Well, girl, how short are you? Now I want to know. How short are you? Can you tell me? Because I'm not answering that question until I find out. I'm not going to say who my favorite sister is. Oh, you're 5 foot. Ooh. That's not. I mean, that's not. I mean, that's not. Bless your heart. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, it's okay. Now, Brad, we ain't talking about nobody with superior. We're not saying that. The question was, who was your favorite sister? That's the question. Who was your favorite sister? Paige is actually my favorite sister. And when I was younger, it used to be Phoebe and or Piper, depending on the day. But now that I am older, Paige is my favorite. For a lot of different reasons. But now I kind of teeter between Paige and Phoebe some days. Like some days, depending on what episodes or whatever, it would be Phoebe. But overall, Paige is my favorite. And I don't know why people be acting like so shocked when I say that. People be acting like I don't know what I'm talking about. And I have a reason. I have a reason. I have reasons. Oh. Your man's gonna love these chickens. So Paige is my favorite. And I've talked about this a lot on this channel. And I don't remember what I was about to say. But here's the reason that Paige is my favorite. Paige came into a situation that was more than just a situation. She came into a broken family, into a broken sisterhood, into a broken magical circle. She came into a home where her mere existence rewrote the rules of magic. And she had to face, and I say that because I know that's dramatic, but they didn't really play into that like they could have. But you know, the huge rule was that, you know, white lighters and witches couldn't be together. But her existence showed that not only had not only had those rules been broken, but they had actually had a child from it, right? And Paige had to come into this world that was completely new to her and kind of unbelievable. And instead of running away from it, and instead of being like, girl, I don't know, I ain't got nothing to do with this, she stepped into those shoes. And she took her responsibility very seriously. And not only did she have to take it very seriously, but, and this is one thing that I always point out because I think it's very, very important to note. Brad, baby, we're not doing this with you can't stand the actress. That ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about. So if you got something you need to say about the actress, please don't say it here. That's all I can tell you. Don't say it here. Paige came in, and like when they became witches at first, they were doing stupid stuff like love spells and things like that. Like they just had to take it day by day, whatever else. But when Paige came in, the first demon that she vanquished was the Source's right-hand man, who had just unalived a charmed one. Like, come on now. That's huge. Like, that is huge. That was her first demon. Within her first year of being a witch, she took out the Source multiple times. She had to come in and she had to try to find her place in a family that she felt like she didn't belong in. And she had to come into it with the baggage of her own past, which is why I think A Page from the Past is so important for her character development, because even though they never brought her family back up, her parents back up again in that capacity, and we never saw them again, I love the fact that she froze up when they went to go save that innocent, because I think it is so realistic that not everyone is going to have the same. Even though she came in and she was gung-ho about saving innocents and helping people, she still had to go through the things that she had experienced. And so I think that helped to make her grow as a person. And her growing as a person had to be done in the midst of everything that was happening. Piper not liking her at first because, she didn't want to be a witch anyway. And then, now we're putting this sister in the mix that she never even knew, and they don't have the same daddy, and so this girl has a whole other lineage, and she has to learn magic, and she's having to kind of get it where she lives and get it how she fits in and whatever else. And they're teaching her some things as they go, but the real general gist of being a witch, she's having to learn by herself. Then you throw in the fact that her instincts were telling her not to trust Cole. Like, she came in asking questions when she was like, wait a minute, so that was Cole? He was Balthazar? He did all of that? And y'all just cool with him being up in the house? Like, Paige was the one that was asking those kind of questions that a person coming in would ask. And she's having to reconcile, like, okay, we just gotta look over this, I guess. Hey, if they love it, if they like it, I love it. And she had to find her way and navigate through that. And then when her suspicions got to be so bad, that caused a little mini rift between her and Phoebe. Nothing horrible, but enough to where it was kind of like, okay, we gotta figure this out. So that's why I respect Paige, and that's why Paige is my favorite sister, is because I think that she came in and she gave the show, not the show necessarily, because I do think the show, but as far as like their characters go, I think that she came in and took up a job that they didn't necessarily want to do, and she took that over and she took that on herself. And I think that was what really, especially after the Source got vanquished, I think that's really what gave Piper and Phoebe more time to really explore themselves. And there wasn't that constant need to, we have to stick together. Paige can do her own thing. And Paige was independent enough to do her own thing, and she was smart. And so that's why I don't know. I love that. And that's why she's my favorite sister. Because I think she just kind of opened a new gateway for them. Now Miss Nina used to be obsessed with this show. You tell Miss Nina that child, this my stuff. This is it. This is my everything, my bread and butter. But yeah, that's why Paige is my favorite. And plus, I relate to her on a more personal level. I relate to her on a more personal level. Just because of our social work background and our desire to help people, kind of feeling like we don't really belong or fit somewhere, and having to try to find our own place. So that's my little thing. That's my reason. Are you adding anyone to the panel? Let me go ahead and add you. I friended you. I'm not adding anyone today, I don't think. I would like to. You know what? That's a good idea. Let me take a screenshot of that. Say. Because I think one day what we can do is maybe not a panel. I don't know what to call it, but a little group thing. I don't know. Girl, I don't know what to call it, but that's a good idea. I'm going to expand on that. And of course, I'm going to give you your flowers for that because you're the one who, came up with that idea. Also, if y'all want to follow me or join my Discord, then you can hit the link tree in my bio, and the link tree includes the Discord server, and we talk about Charmed in there. We have a room where we talk about Buffy, but I don't think we've really discussed it necessarily. But like Buffy, Invincible, Wicked City, things like that. And so you can join our Discord and have a little discourse. Oh, there is a supernatural room on the Discord, but I don't know a whole lot about supernatural. But please feel free to come in and start some conversations about it. So you do, I need to catch up on Wicked City too, Steven, because I hadn't watched it in a little while because your boy's anxiety has been really up, and child. Everybody be asking me why the original Three Sisters aren't up there. And my answer to that is, so I have two parts of it. Number one, I can't find a good picture where all three of them fit in the frame. So that's kind of actually the biggest part of it. And then the second part is because I want this one and I like this one. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry. It's not that I'm trying to be rude. It's just that I like this picture. And so that's the one we're going to go with. For me, anyway. A good anxiety book. Or an anxiety book. I'd be okay with that. I just don't want to do all this shadow journal stuff that these folks be recommending on TikTok. Because I'm not doing that. I'm a 35-year-old millennial IDK with Discord and internet stuff. I'm not screaming. An elder millennial. Shut up. That is tickling me. Oh, so Steven, I have wanted to see Salem. Watch Salem. I think I started watching it at one point and stopped. But I don't really remember. So, but yeah, y'all go join the Discord if you want to. I mean, I'm not going to make you do it, but I would like it if you would. Because I'm really trying to, I'm really trying to grow this channel and grow my Discord and grow me as a brand, because I eventually want to be, oh my God, I'm sweating. I eventually want to be a content creator. I mean, I am now, but I want to be I want to make podcasts. I want to make a podcast that I can do professionally. And I also want to eventually write a book, like short stories or whatever. A book of short stories. Discord is in his link tree. In my bio. You can go to my bio and hit my link tree. Emerald City. I want to watch Emerald City. That's the one that's based on The Wizard of Oz, right? Anissa, I tried watching the originals. Let me tell you something. I had to give it up. And I don't know what it was. I think, I'm not sure why I couldn't quite get into it. But there was something that stopped me from really, really like getting into the story. And then Marcel is fine, right? Like Marcel is probably one of the most delicious men I've ever seen in my life. But all that smirking, all that smirking, I can't do that. Like every time he gets on that, like every single time he, like, man, why are you smirking? Oh, baby, I used to love me some True Blood. True Blood, you every week, every week, I sat right there for True Blood every week, every single week. That was my show. Motherhood Fort Salem is on my list. Not Out of Your Mind. I try to play cool, but instead I was playing myself. What you got? Wait, what was it? What you got now about me is I think it's dying in this lonely hell. I think that's what it was. I don't know. And I don't wanna be without you. This is y'all know Melody Fiona used to hit them little. Yeah, I'm gonna get into Motherland. I'm gonna get into a Motherland. Okay, so Elena said I would listen to a podcast of yours about Charmed. So my friends and I actually have a Charmed podcast. It is called the Nexus Podcast. We were on a brief little hiatus for November, and we are going to come back in December. Our next episode is actually going to be December 1st. We go episode by episode, and just kind of like how I'm just talking now, that's kind of how we do. So you may hear a little bit of everything, but you can also find the link to that in my link tree. And you can also find our TikTok page. I have a video that I stitched today from our TikTok page. So you can go there and find us there. We're really trying to get it off the ground. You know how life just kind of throws some stuff at you sometimes. And sometimes you can't quite get it the way you want to get it. So we getting there. We getting where we want it to be. Baby, I love me some Practical Magic. When Jillian was like, hide your husbands, girls. Woo! Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Not Xena. Not you bringing up me watching Xena. The fact that I watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and it's not that it's not good, because I actually really enjoy it. I just forgot to go back and watch it. Y'all, what did that girl say? The one, she's a singer and I can't remember her name. She's a pretty little girl. She's not a little girl. She's like 23, but y'all gotta remember I'm 32. So to me, when I be saying little girl, I don't mean it like that. Like I don't mean to call her a little girl. I just like in my mind, like anyone born after 2000 is like young, and I find myself doing that, and I have got to get out of the habit of doing that. But the one that's like ADHD, girl, that's why I stopped watching Xena. ADHD. Let me see what y'all talking about. Mayfair Witches. Mayfair is just what you need. I was gonna watch that and I didn't. And I don't remember why. But I think it was because I kept missing the episodes on AMC. And then I think it's on I think it's on Max now. I started watching. Let me tell y'all. Witches of East End is really good. Witches of East End is really good. And I love their magic system. So, hey Tay. Hey Tay. Okay, so I won't watch it then. Okay, all right. So let me tell y'all this. Right now, I'm trying to watch. I really am about to grab that blanket. I don't know if y'all noticed tonight, but we're not laying down. Right now, we're sitting up. And I'm going to tell y'all why. So, if you're new here, then, and even if you're not new, then you may not know this. The reason that I do a lot of my lives, like laying down, is because I have arthritis in my hips, right? And so it hurts pretty much all the time. And so that's why I do the lives laying down typically, is because, you know, it's just more comfortable and I'm not trying to sit here, you know, for however long. But the pain has been good today. So I was like, you know what? Let's change it up. And I was like, I'm gonna give y'all a little sitting action. Oh, sorry. I said I'm gonna give y'all a little sitting action today. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to find the video. Y'all give me a second. I want to find it again. Oh, here it is.
G.I. Joe. Freeze him.
I just love the little sound. Yeah, so you get it then, beautiful, beautiful Stray. You get it. Like, and it's weird because, like, when I go to the doctor or whatever, the doctor, like, I had a doctor who was like, you're too young for that. Well, baby, it's children that have arthritis. And then they'll be like, oh, well, it's just because you're so heavy. And I'm like, it may be. Now, I'm not saying it's not. Now, I'm not Delulu, where I'm telling myself that my weight does not affect the arthritis in any shape, form, or fashion. However, my family has a history of it. And so instead of being like, well, it shouldn't be because you shouldn't be fat. Well, okay, but I am. So what we gonna do about it now? Like, instead of telling me what it shouldn't be, it is. So what we gonna do about it? Anyway, I don't even know why I told y'all all that. But point is, that's why we're sitting up tonight. Because I want to feel like I'm really doing something. I want to actually, I don't want to lay down. But yeah, so that's why I lay down, is because of the arthritis. And I used to be so embarrassed, and I felt like I needed to explain that all the time. And then I was like, you know what? It'll be all right. And yes, Paige is my favorite sister. Whoever asked that question, Paige is my favorite sister. I gave a long-winded explanation as to why, and I'm not doing it again. But Paige is my favorite. Not Ricky said, where my people at? Y'all, I think I done ran out of things to say. Okay, well, you get it then, Leia. You get it. I done ran out of things to say, y'all. And, okay, JP River. I'm going to, so JP River, if you will send me a message on here, then I will see if I can get you into the Discord. If you will do that, then I can see. And we can go from there. And whatever. And anybody can feel free to message me at any time. I am not great at responding to comments. And you will learn that tonight was different because I'm kind of hyped up because I feel really good today. So, okay, well, Kai, somebody, if you having issues with the link, then message me and we'll We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. If you want to. Like, if you want to. If you don't feel like it, then okay. But y'all, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end things here. And, oh, Halliwell for a dog. That's so cute. So, Beautiful Stray message me. Okay, wait. Because, girl, I don't know how to, oh, Lord. I'm going to just take a picture. Like I said, if anybody has any questions, please message me. I'm going to try to message the people that I remember off the top of my head. So, just, like I said, please, I'm asking you to message me because there's a good chance I might forget. Okay? So, but yeah. So, all right, y'all. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. It was great talking to y'all hussies tonight. And y'all didn't even gaslight me a whole lot. So, that was really fun. That y'all didn't gaslight me. So, I feel really good. So, this was fun. This was very fun. It was a good time had by all. So, good night, everybody. I'll see you. And if you're new here, it was great to meet you tonight. It was great to have you here. It was great to be able to talk to you and whatnot. So, good night, hussies. I will see y'all later.